Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Leslie, and I just wanted to do a little check-in video to see how everyone's doing. I hope you are all hanging in there, and to talk a little bit about personal finance topics because as a writer, as you know or may not know, I am a writer, editor, and coach, so I help people with writing and just finding success in the writing career like I've been able to do. But as a writer, one of the topics that I really focus on is personal finance in addition to wellness, in addition to relationships and lifestyle. And the reason I focus on that is because I think personal finances are super important. I've written about this topic quite a bit lately, a lot for Business Insider, but basically I feel that, and actually I know that when you have your personal finances in order, it can give you freedom. And this is something that is really important to me. As a writer, I work for myself. You know, I want to be able to have options. I want to be able to travel, and I've been able to do all of that. And a big reason I've been able to do that is because I have been able to keep my money straight and doing well. And so it's really important to me to teach other people how to do that. So today I'm here to talk to you about a personal finance story that I did for Business Insider very recently, and that story was about why I'm not flipping out with the market being up and down like it is. So you may remember very recently stocks plummeted. Things were just looking bad. People were looking in their retirement accounts and just seeing deficits. People were looking in their investment portfolios and seeing deficits. Obviously, people right now are being laid off, which is really sad due to the pandemic situation. People are just really struggling in the country right now, and I wanted to do this video just to give a little bit of hope and to let you know that you can find your way out of a situation if you're in a bad one right now, and also just to let you know that I do believe the markets will recover as they always have. So I will just hop right in. The story was about how I had some travel plans. I was going to be in Germany for March for a while. I'm a writer, I work for myself. I was able to plan that trip, and then I realized I had to cancel it when things started getting bad. Of course, the health situation is really sad right now, and my prayers are with everybody and thoughts are with everybody dealing with this as we social distance and all of that. And I realized that I needed to stay home for my safety and also just to figure out what was happening. And as it turned out, I was right, because we've been told to social distance and protect ourselves and others that way. Anyway, as I'm here, I was thinking about how I changed that trip and I had no problem doing it, but when the market started falling, I decided I was still going to be fine. And the reason that I am okay and the reason that I'm not panicking, and this is the bit of hope that I want to share, is that I believe that this is not a permanent situation. So the first thing is that I actually have savings. I have an emergency savings fund, and so even if stuff gets crazy in my investment accounts, like that money is in there. I don't need it. It's for long-term investments. I don't need it at the moment. And an emergency savings account is really, really important. And you've probably heard everyone say this, and I won't beat it to death here, but that emergency savings account is what's keeping me pretty calm. There are three things. So that's one of them, and I, would be happy to do a video a little bit later about how I managed to build that and how you can too, because really you can do it little by little. As long as you have little goals, it is possible, I promise. Okay. The second reason that I'm not flipping out, and I talked about this in the story, is that the market historically rebounds after it falls. So even the last recession we had, and that went officially from 2007 to 2009, that period of a downturn lasted about 18 months. And yes, 18 months is not a short time, and in the scheme of life, however, 18 months is we can deal with it. And so we dealt with it, and actually after that happened, that whole market situation, the recession, the stock market, even as recently as this year, closed at record highs. So the market does go up and down. It's like a little roller coaster, right? And we just strap ourselves in and we follow things, but we really shouldn't be panicking, because it eventually does right itself. And so that's the second reason why I'm not flipping out, because I know that even though things are looking crazy right now, like we have these periods in history where things will go down and up and down and up, and it eventually comes back and history shows us that. I'll try to put a link to this chart that I'm referencing for this information in the description so you can see it. It's sort of comforting to me, I think, to see how things have gone. And you know, sometimes depressions can be just for, not depressions, but recessions can be just a few months long. Like I said, this one was 18 months. Who knows how long this one is going to be, but I do believe it'll come back. And while I'm talking, I just want to say this is not investment advice. I am not a financial planner. I do interview them for a living, and I've done a lot of research on this topic for writing over the years and just for my own personal self. But please know this is not investment advice. This is just information that I'm sharing, and you should use it, you know, as you would like to or not, to make your own best decisions. If you have any questions about your own financial situation specifically, I highly recommend that you talk to a certified financial professional. Okay, just had to get that in there. So the third reason that I'm not upset is because I know that the market, investments, all that stuff is no place to be emotional. One thing that I always say to people is that you should never be investing money that you need, right? So if you need that $1,000 to pay rent next month or whatever it is, that money should not be money that you're putting into the market, because what happens if you put money in there that you need, that is when you start panicking, right? And you're like, oh my gosh, I really need this money. Why did I do that? Now it's lost $400 or $600. Like, what do I do? And you might be tempted to panic and pull it out at a loss. And that is not something that's ideal. And I do want to say, when it comes to pulling money out, like, you haven't really lost anything until you pull it out. So if you were to say leave your money in while it went down and let the market to kind of recover and come back, and pull it out, you know, later, maybe when you're retirement age or 10 years from now or 20 years from now, whatever your long-term goals are, you wouldn't have actually lost anything in this moment. So I think the first thing is just to remember to not put money in there that you need, because that will help you to not be emotional. So for me, when I look at my investments and I see how they're down, I mean, my portfolio, not gonna lie to you, is bleeding red in a couple places. Okay, it's bad. But I'm not flipping out because, again, I don't really need that money right now. I'm able to wait for it to come back. And I know that emotions are not really appropriate in the stock market. Like, yes, we can be emotional when we love people. We can be emotional about trips, like vacations, those kind of things. But when it comes to money, we just need to be as logical as possible, as even-keeled as possible. And so emotions don't belong there. If you're a super emotional person, I would say, again, a way to get around that is not to put money in that you need, to also look at things in a long-term way as opposed to a short-term way. Because if you know that, you know, you're letting your money grow, especially if you're not anywhere near retirement, like I'm not at all officially near the age of retirement, then I know that this isn't something that I can even really do anything about right now, so I'm not really going to panic. So I hope this was helpful. This is probably one of my shorter videos, but I thought this was an important topic. Thanks for listening to this video. I hope you found it helpful in terms of information, and I will look forward to hearing from you. Please feel free to share this video, like or comment, and feel free to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will be back to talk to you soon.